wrong, I made the mistake. That's the way I view things when I watch their games.
You know, I do want to call out here, we've spent so much time seeing Mohamed Light in the same setting. The golden chair, maybe some fancy curtains in the back. But now we see him in a kind of a blank room in a gamer chair. Is this Mohamed Light 3.0?
I don't know if the world's ready for it, so that's a scary thought to have.
Early Royal Hog split for Mohamed. We'll take a little bit of damage to both sides for Mugi.
Pretty interesting to split the Royal Hogs after the fireball comes down. I think maybe it just makes sense because you know your opponent is running mortar at that point, just because skeleton barrel is so infrequent otherwise. But yeah, just a little bit surprised to see him split the Royal Hogs like that.
Well, fireball certainly going to be a factor as time goes on. Mo and Mugi did not meet at World Finals last year, as Mohamed Light kind of made his way through the upper bracket, sent Sandbox down to the lower bracket where he eliminated Mugi in the second round. An early exit for Japan's biggest star in Clash Royale.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense how some of these players are so consistent with their playmaking and just the fact that, even like a bad World Finals should usually mean you get knocked out in the first round. For both Mohamed Light and Mugi, a bad World Finals making like top 4. So that's just the level these two are on.
And a little late with the pigs out of Mohamed Light. He's going to eat one shot from the mortar. It finally does turn.
Yeah, not the end of the world for Mohamed Light, but still never great. Right now, Monk getting a lot of value, getting the correct timing. Minions are going to take themselves out, and the bowler is also going to do that. Slight miss time, though. Had it been a tenth of a second later, it would have been able to get that final shot on the bowler.
25 seconds left in regulation time. Mohamed with the lead in both lanes. 20:56 left-hand side, 22:04 right-hand side. Mugi's done a little bit of work on that right-hand lane, courtesy of that mortar lock.
Activated ability once again, and right there messes up the timing once again. The first shot not getting swung back in the direction of Mugi's side, and that bar barrel sneakily takes out the entire mortar. Just a really solid bar barrel since Mugi wasn't able to protect it.
Sudden death overtime, and we've been stalemated for a couple of cycles now. And so far, it really does feel like we're in this kind of rinse-repeat situation, Josh, as Mugi plays these mortars high. Mohamed Light really not getting on the offensive very much after some of the earlier play. And now, finally, we'll see him get on the offensive. Evo mortar high. Bowler going to work on those. Fireball hits everything. Waits until after the hero or after the monk ability goes down. It feels like Mohamed's finding a lot of trouble looking for damage here in the late stages of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. But, Mohamed Light does have that lead, so we're going to see if he's going to be able to hang on to it. I feel like we're able to recognize just from, earlier matches today, but a lot of it comes down to, can you get the pressure with these skeleton barrels? And I think there's a chance that Mugi isn't playing enough of them on the map. I think there's a shot that he should be just spamming those as often as he could.
Bar barrel fails to take out one of the two Evo archers. Pigs down, split. Mortar has to come high to cover, and it won't really even, it gets nothing off as it gets completely eaten alive by the pigs. Final 10 seconds. And fireballs go each direction. A tightly fought battle, a tense one in our opening game of this best of 3. Mohamed Light on top, up 1.
Yeah, I mean, Mohamed Light, he just took the lead early on. Those kind of cards.
Yeah, then it does get a little complicated to evolutions, heroes, champions. Next we'll get, who knows what they'll name the next one. Here we go, game number 2. And minor for Mugi, we'll see if Mohamed Light is running minor wall breakers or a different wall breakers variant. Bats make it feel like there's a minor in here.
Okay, and so this is the deck. Oh yeah, we really could see a mirror match right here. Good Magic Archer in response for Mohamed Light. That's going to be one shot from the Berserker and more Presh from Mo. Defensive Royal Delivery coming out from Mugi.
Well, you see the good read from Mohamed Light, realizing Fire Spirit out of cycle. I can force a -1 trade with the bats. You have to play that delivery or you're in trouble. Of course, letting the recruit go all the way across the board. Same for the Berserker.
Yeah, kind of an interesting little interaction right there, but you would have actually just got like 1 or 2 extra chip shots from the miner if you used the bats to protect the miner for the first shot or 2, and then the miner would pop up because you know your opponent has to deliver. Those are the type of levels that these players are thinking on the fly. And I gotta say, I'm happy with myself that I was able to think of that.
And the ability from Mugi maybe backfiring a bit as he takes some extra damage there.
Wow.
So the one big difference here, Tesla versus Bomb Tower. Do you have a preference between these two here, Josh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it was from yesterday's games or last week or last month, but there was a very similar matchup to this one, and the Tesla was able to win really easily because if you're not able to protect your bomb tower even just once, it makes it so that the Magic Archers kind of go crazy on the map. And so, yeah, from what I can tell, this should be looking really good for Mohamed Light.
And of course, the Magic Archer or the Tesla able to target bats when Bomb Tower is not. Another small wrinkle in that conversation as we are 15 seconds away. And close on the King Tower activation is Mugi, but not quite. Sudden death overtime ticking in. And slight lead right now for the 3-time.
And right there, Magic Archer able to stay alive. Bomb Tower going to get placed down just in time, but definitely a very sketchy moment right there for Mugi. And he's going to activate King Tower every time, isn't he?
And that's a huge connection. Mohamed Light strengthening the lead as we get into the final 90. Mugi already down a game in dire straits.
I mean, even just every single interaction, like he's allowing these Magic Archers to die because he doesn't need to force the issue. He doesn't need to pop the ability incorrectly one time and doesn't have the elixir for this or that. It just doesn't matter. He's so calculated with every decision.
And we used to talk about that with heroes and now, or with champions and now with heroes, right? Where champions we used to worry about, hey, like, is this ability worthwhile or is it a pop every single time situation? And now we're seeing to be even more extreme with some of these hero abilities. Especially now that Magic Archer is 2 elixir rather than 1.
And right here, wow. A lot going on. I love what Mugi's doing, trying to force the issue in just some possible way.
Miner to the back, wall breakers high. They are getting tanked for. Delivery has to come out. Magic Archer gets on the recruit, not on the berserker. Good pickup against the Miner for Mohamed Light. 456 to 1586. Double wall protection on the left-hand side does not matter. Mohamed happy to take it. And he'll go ahead and take the win. Mohamed Light continues his lower bracket dominance, taking out his biggest rival in Clash Royale.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal set from Mohamed Light. Exactly what we come to expect from him.